The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is one of the biggest and most impressive open world RPGs I've ever played, and not long ago I thought to myself, how could The Witcher 3 have been even greater? So in this video I'm going to make a list of 5 things that would have made The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt even better than it already is. The Witcher 3 has replay value because the story is entertaining, the characters are unique, and the vast open world is beautiful. But imagine if we had even more reasons to replay the game. Skyrim has done a fantastic job with keeping fans entertained and playing the game still a decade after its release. This is because every time you play through it, it can feel like a different playthrough depending on the race you play as and which skill tree path you choose to follow. And imagine if The Witcher done the same. I think it would have been brilliant if we could actually choose which Witcher school we were a part of, and they could have done something where each Witcher school gives us different signs to use. This would make each time we played through the game feel completely different, which adds replay value to it. Now every single time I've played The Witcher 3 I've enjoyed it, and I've played through it a fair few times. But the idea of playing through it as part of a different school and using completely different signs is really exciting. New signs could include Frost, which could slow your opponent down and damage the health, or even a sign that paralyses your enemy. There's a lot of schools, so there would have been a lot of signs that The Witcher 3 would have had to come up with, but I think that would have made a massive difference, as each playthrough would have felt so much different, so it would have added to the replay value so much. I feel like an open world game isn't complete unless it has some form of collectible items, and although The Witcher 3 has the Gwent cards, I can't really see what else there is to actually collect. I don't count potion or Witcher diagrams as collectible items. The thing about collectible items is it pushes you to explore, which is what an open world game is about. Now the Wild Hunt is more than enough to make you want to explore, so there isn't necessarily any need to have the collectibles. But there's something about it when you've collected a specific set of collectible items. For example, Skyrim has the Stones of Barenziah, and GTA 5 I think is a king of collectibles in games. It has a huge amount such as letter scraps and submarine parts, and there's way more. And it's such an achievement when you actually get all of the collectibles. And sometimes you get rewards for finding collectibles as well, which make all them hours that you've spent searching for all the collectibles well worth it. A cool idea for The Witcher 3 would be to have broken Witcher School medallion fragments as collectibles scattered around the map, and after finding them all you could craft a master crafted medallion which could give you increased sign intensity. Going back onto my point about Gwent cards as well, it was fun buying Gwent cards from merchants, but I would have much preferred it if there were even more unique cards scattered around the map to collect, as Gwent is such a massive part of the game. Whenever I have an amazing armour set in The Witcher 3, I couldn't help but think how good it would have looked if there was a helmet to go with it. Armour sets in The Witcher 3 are incredible, and there's so many which look amazing, so The Witcher 3 done a fantastic job with that. But I think if we could add a helmet to Geralt, it would add so much detail and it would look insane. Skyrim has a ton of helmets to wear which look great, and go really well with the armour even if it's not a matching set, so I feel The Witcher could have done the same. Helmets could have also come with perks and space to add runes, so your character could have been even more powerful. I always looked at the helmets on the Wild Hunt and I just thought they looked so fantastic, so I'd have loved to see what other designs they could have come up with. I've been playing a load of Skyrim recently and collecting new masks and helmets, so it got me wondering, why does The Witcher 3 not have any helmets? So let me know in the comments if you would have liked to see helmets that you could equip to Geralt on The Witcher 3. You spend a lot of time on your horse during The Witcher 3, so being able to customise it a little bit more would have been a great idea. I like the fact you can add blinders, saddles, saddlebags and trophies to Roach, but I would have liked to customise the colour and hair design of my horse like you can in Red Dead 2. I don't need as much customisation as we got in Red Dead, but it would have been nice to do some basic customisations and adjustments. Even if we couldn't customise the horses, but we could buy different breeds and colours like you can in Red Dead, that would have been still great. As we spend so much time on a horse like you do in Red Dead 2, I think being able to customise or buy different horses would have been so much fun, and we would have been able to design a horse the exact way we want it to look. As well as this, I wish the physics were a bit better for riding the horse. A lot of the time I'd be galloping and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Roach would just be running into thin air and not moving. He'd just be galloping in thin air, not moving forward. Or I'd just be running and I'd go to jump over a small fence with Roach and I'd either just hit it or I'd completely miss it. So they definitely needed to design a better physics system for when you're riding Roach, because you do spend a lot of time on horseback. And finally, boat journeys needed to be more fun. When I'm playing an open world game, I like to soak in and experience it as much as possible, so fast travelling isn't an option for me. This leads to some extremely boring boat rides when you're travelling from island to island in Skellige. Holding a button down for 5 minutes or longer at times is what it takes to get to the different islands. The boat moves extremely slowly and the water doesn't seem to affect the boat in any shape or form either, it kind of just wobbles it. I wish the water was like the vicious waves in Black Flag. That was amazing, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It made driving the pirate ships really fun. But the boats in The Witcher 3 just seem to travel in an easy, slow, straight line, and you eventually gradually get to your destination, but it takes a while sometimes. The most entertaining thing that could happen whilst you're on your boat is a potential monster attack. The boat rides are very boring, so if anyone is like me and doesn't like fast travelling, or if you're going around collecting all the loot caches in the ocean, it's going to be very tedious and tiring. It could be improved for making the water interact more with the boat, so it's more of a fun drive. The boat could be faster, or we could be able to have the ability to drive bigger ships like proper pirate ships like in Black Flag. If The Witcher 3 had the same types of boats and water physics as in Black Flag, I would have spent so much more time out on the water exploring. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you go over to my channel and check out my other videos, because I've got many other Witcher 3 videos amongst other RPGs, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss any future content.